It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 190. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, play free for up to 5 days in the latest free login campaign. The Wolves' Den PvP livestream with the community team. Join us for Duty Commenced, episode 36 on December 19th. New merchandise available for pre-order. Feast Season 14 coming soon. New optional items available. Announcing the Star Companion Screenshot Sweepstakes. Letter from the Producer Live 56 summary. And then, is Yokai Watch coming back? A streamer is banned for something he says outside of 14. But first, let's shoot the shit. What has been going on this week? Hi there, Ruby.
What's up, Yelta?
Yo, everything. Everything's up in the air.
The sky.
The sky.
Like, the Laffy Taffy joke answer.
Dad jokes.
Why the chicken crust are up? So, it's another beautiful week in Eorzea or Nordvrandt or wherever you lay your hat. I've been doing blue stuff. A lot of blue stuff. I don't remember if this was last week. I don't remember if I reported on whatever, but I got my ass drug around with Beldandy and some others, and we got a bunch of spells. It was one of those like, hey, Ruby, do you want X spell? And it was like, yeah, sure. And then like 5 dungeons later and 3 primals later, it was like, it's like 1 a.m. I probably should go. But yeah, it was very cool, very interesting. I got a lot of the good spells, right? Like, and I'm going to butcher the names of these, so I'm just going to call them for what they do. I got the spell that lets you like select if you're Ethereal Mimicry, I think is the name of it, where you can be a DPS or healer or a tank. And I got Diamondback, and I got the black and white horse lasers, and oh my gosh, I got a bunch of spells, bunch of them. And so I've tried Siegfried once. I think it was before I got all of those, or maybe midway through some of that. There's one spell I feel like I still need to go get, and I think it's out in where all the Ogzundu and all that stuff is. Sea of Clouds. I need to get one that I think puts an elemental weakness on an enemy. I need to go out and look at see if I can get that. But I with the one time I did fight Siegfried, I was doing pitiful damage. I felt like my damage was low. I was doing physical attacks. It was like I'm doing the stuff right. But then also I didn't know like the opener at the time, so there's some stuff I could practice, get it right. But anyway, it was fun. I'm having a lot of fun with blue. It's still not what I wanted it to be, and I don't mean a real job. I mean that OP blast 'em. Like, I want it to feel like when you take your level 80 into level 50 content. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted Blue Mage to feel like in 50 and 60 combat, right? Which is why they would bar you from 70 and 80 content, because it would be too powerful. Level 5 death, destruction, no. It's none of that. It's terrible. So that's all I want. Make it super buff meaty. And I guess maybe that takes away from playing with friends, but I don't know. I still think it'd be fun to melt stuff, Yeah. It still would be pretty cool to go in those 24-man raids and just melt things. And then it's just roll over dumb content that is kind of what we crave. Like, I just want to get with a bunch of my buddies and not have to think. And then it has variety, right? Like, you could say there's an opener and a rotation. Sure. I mean, if you want to really perfect something. But blue is so open-ended. You could just like, hey, I'm spamming horse lasers. Hey, I'm doing sonic boom. Hey, I'm just doing my water cannon. Hey, I'm doing drill cannons. It doesn't really matter all that much.
JK.
Yeah, 200 potency versus 210 potency or whatever. Like, big fucking deal. So I just think it would be fun just to melt shit and everybody just doing whatever the fuck they want, and it's just chaos and beautiful. Maybe the public dungeon will come into that. Maybe they'll give us some kind of deal with that, because we got some bitching ahead about the number of dungeons and such, and therefore
and what kind of content they're adding for aimed at who. I'm ready. My wine is poured.
Oh, see, this is why I needed maybe while Yelta talks, I'll sneak away and grab this rum I've got over here in the corner. Might be a good idea, you know. What else did I do? I tried to cram in Starlight Celebration just before the podcast. I got as far as to fail the choir event. So I was like, I don't need these instructions. And what does the yellow one do again? What's the pink one? I don't remember a pink one. Yeah, I fucking failed that shit. So I need to go back and do that, I guess, when the podcast is over. Fun times, though. It's I was afraid it was going to be click 3 times and go, but to my dismay for trying to cram this in for 15 minutes before the podcast, it wasn't click 3 NPCs and you're over. You kind of have to go back and forth and click 3 or 4 or 5 NPCs. And then you finish the first part, and then you do the second. It seems to me like it's just farm for the tokens and then buy the stuff that you want with the tokens. Maybe I didn't get far enough for them to say, hey, here's a thing I'm giving you other than tokens. But the story seemed good. It was, give presents to kids kind of thing, spend time with me, Dad. And then you sing. More singing is back. But I'm okay with that because I like them having, like, the mini game. We've had this discussion before. It's like, why can't they bring back all the mini games of the past?
That summer event had lots of good mini games, yeah.
I think slowly but surely they're doing that, except for the summer events. And I take that back because the summer event, again, you did do the platform jumping thing again. That was year 2 of that. What Yelta's referring to is Bomb Dance and the other Bombard events. But it seems like the last few years they've been saying, well, now that the bombs are gone, da-da-da-da-da. So, like, are they never going to go back to the bombs? I don't know. Maybe they'll bring them back to us someday and we'll have more bomb dances and things of that nature. But it seems like you got the mochi pounding every Hatching Tide or whatever it is, or Heaven's Turn or whatever it is. Yeah, Heaven's Turn, my favorite. And then now we've got like Haunted Mansions every time for All Saints Wake, and we make children depressed every Starlight Celebration. No, we're singing now. So I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get a trend, a something together here. Anyway, that's what I did. I will go back and finish it and report if something astounding happens. Thanos appears and snaps half of Eorzea out of existence. I didn't get that far, so if that's what happens at the end of Starlight, spoilers to me. All right, so that's. Honestly, that's all. I think I did a little triple triad. Oh, a mystery has been solved. So at one point, I was using, I think it was XIV Triad, and I think their owner has stopped maintaining that site, and it links you to a different Triad site now. But at one time, I was using their tracker, and I was 1 card shy of getting all the cards minus that one time Tataru fucked me over with a Firion card. And I was like, I'm still missing one. Yeah. Something's wrong. I'm still missing one. And I had looked all over. This was also hey, let's put a symbol above the NPC's head with a star if you haven't gotten all the cards yet. And I love those symbols.
Yeah,
and I love them. And here's why. I'm doing the Blue Mage quests, the new ones, and they're like, hey, go to the Thaumaturge Guild. And I went, and I'm like, Yayake, you bitch. You've been holding that card the whole time. So she's got, and I could get it from a dungeon as well. It's like Vice Warden of the something or another. It's from Karn, and I could go and get it from Karn. I could run Karn easily on any job that's 70 or above. I could, easily solo it. And then just run that a few times and get it. But I wanted to play Yayake because I just thought, let me win it from her. Mm-hmm. She uses Chaos Random the entire time. And I did this for about 45 minutes, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm walking away from this. So I still need to go back and play her. But that bitch, She was sticking it to me. Chaos Random. That's terrible. My advice, if you play Chaos Random, just take. And by take, I mean you just always try to take the opponent's card. It's Chaos Random. You're fighting the rules more than you're fighting the actual opponent. So just always take their card, even if you expose yourself a lot. I got tips. One of these, I've tried to make a video series at one time about doing it. I don't know. I lost steam. I hate putting that shit together. Maybe it's the editing. Maybe it's just the actual video. I overthink things. I should have just made it. But I did put a few out on a YouTube. I think on my personal YouTube channel, the Rubicon Veil one. And I was doing some like rules for Triple Triad and how to play certain things. So I got some ways that I like to play certain opponents. But whenever you get Chaos Random, you just need to take their card. There's not really much of a strategy you can play. There's a very limited window where you want to play defensively, but for the most part, just take and just, hope for the best. So anyway, that is basically all I did this past week. Yelta, what did you do?
I also tried to get in there and do Starlight quick, but
Keep talking. I'm going to get rum.
I tried to do Starlight, but I got distracted before I came on and did like 2 other things and whatnot. My week was very similar to yours. I pretty much did Blue Mage things. Before the patch dropped, I had, I think, everything but I think I had pretty much everything. I was just wrapping up the last 2 Masked Carnival, and I finally beat my way through them, and it was very painful. And then one day I got on and I was just, after the patch, I'm like casually wandering around zones, killing the mobs, for XP and for their spells. And then a couple guys in the free company were like, Yelta, you want to get to 60 very fast? And I'm like, no, I'm all right. I'm like, I'm just going to farm these guys, no big deal or whatever. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, well, fine, okay. So I went, and in about 30 minutes, I got from 52 to 60. I think we took Bell too, and so you just go to Azaslaw with someone who is level 80. You just tag the mob and they murder it, and then you're 60. And it was kind of depressing, honestly, but okay. I don't usually do the power leveling of things, but since Blue is really more about collecting the abilities, I was like, fine, whatever. And then I got... Well, let me just go down the list of the blue spells I don't have. All right, scrolling down the list. Mm-hmm. The blue spells I don't have are Angel Whisper. That's it. I only need 1 spell, and I'm because it's the clear 30 stages of Masked Carnival, and I'm stuck on stage 29. I don't know if it's my latency.
One's fucking easy, Yelta.
Shit.
I don't even know what it is.
Oh my god! I can get through the first guy just fine. It's a 2-act one. The second guy, I can get to the part even where he like summons some hands. I can get the hands down, and I don't know what happens at that point, but I die. I don't know if I lose focus or if I have lag and get hit by AoEs or what it is that's happening, but it's just like completely. Yeah, that's the only one I need. And then I do want to go and try getting a group together and see if we can work on getting our Marlboro mount. But I don't want it. But you need. I would think having a raise would be pretty important. I don't want to do that till I finished everything else. And man, when you're solo, no one can carry your ass.
Oh no, it's tough. The solo life is hard on Blue, and that's why I complain. It should be much easier, but. No.
But I might have to just. I probably need to do is go. I have read the strats, and I know what to do. I may have to just go and see, maybe I should be doing, I don't know, damage more faster or dodging more better. I do wonder, our internet's been pretty slow since, like, Saturday. It's been extremely slow. In fact, I didn't even log on last night to raid. I went and played Stardew Valley with my mom and my sister because I'm having trouble avoiding AoEs. So I wasn't even going to try raiding. But, so maybe I'm just, like, not getting out of stuff when it explodes or something. I'm not sure. But I'll give it another try. I've been stuck on other levels and thought I would never make it, and then eventually, got through it. So Blue Mage was 90% of what I did, I think, last week. I have been like getting on and doing my I've still been doing the Pixie daily quests, but not a ton of stuff. I guess I did do Nier. I didn't quite cap. I did do a Wondrous Tales. I need some people. I need to pull a party together and get 9 more totems, and I can have my Rathalos.
Heyo.
Yeah. I only need 9 more tokens to get that thing, and I should just freaking do it. I never go though unless someone in the free company's like, "I'm putting up a Rathalos party. Want to come?" And I'm like, "Sure." I'm trying to think. That's really about all I did this week. It was a lot of Blue Mage.
It's been fun. I mean, I know it's a flash in the pan, and here in about 2 weeks, nobody's going to give a shit about Blue Mage anymore. But for what it is, it's enjoyable. I wish it could have something that gave it a little more longevity, but maybe this is just how Yoshida designs content, that it's fun for a month and a half, and then they scramble to put something else out there that's fun for a month and a half.
He doesn't want us to feel like we have to play, right? He's even said that. He doesn't want us to feel like we have to live in the game and stuff, and that's kind of, especially to some of us older MMO players, they really, there was just an endless time sink, and I get it, not respecting our time or whatever, but I kept you in there. But I don't know. Yeah, eventually. Oh, I guess I did. I got asked to join a raiding static.
Nice.
I turned them down, but I got asked. There's a link shell I'm in that I found them. They formed the Crossroad link shell. Actually, after we had done a Hades EX learning party back before I had even cleared, and they've called me out by name several times to come help, get an E1S clear, or come out and practice E2S, or come help with Hades EX clear. I did help with a Hades EX clear this week too. And one of the guys sent me a message, but I didn't really want to sign up for 2 nights a week, and I didn't want it to feel like work.
Right.
At least, a lot of times like Belle and some others and Frey and a bunch of people go on Tuesday, but if I don't show up, it's not held against me. It's just they were going to party finder it anyway. So hopefully they can find a good healer if I don't feel like playing. But I've been mostly going.
And sometimes they don't find a good healer.
No.
They're like, Yelta, please.
I have received the message, Yelta, log back in if you can. I mean, I have logged back in so that they can do E1S because they have shitty parties. I mean, you can't tell the party members that they're shitty because then you can have your ban. But yeah, I'm not even that good at raiding, but apparently I'm better than a lot of the duty finder, party finder.
Go Yelta.
What? All right. But that was pretty much my week. You can shoot the shit with us. Come to the website, www.gtffxv.com. Let us know what you've been up to, if anything. We do want to mention, we want to shout out, bought us around.
Yeah, we've got a big thank you to Varya Kimon for your donation. Thank you very, very much. We promise to use that for the betterment of the show and to hopefully get us kick-started on a giveaway / contest. I'm thinking since I love Heaven's Turn so much, maybe we should do a Heaven's Turn contest. We'll come up with something.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
We had great ideas 2 shows ago, but I never wrote them down, and I couldn't possibly be bothered to go back and listen to what we said.
I've got 6 sticky notes next to me with some stuff written down.
Yeah.
Something about a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Oh wait, that was the name of one of our episodes. We'll see where this goes.
Well, and we are going to be at 200 shows in 10 shows, so we may have to have a blowout for that. Please look forward to it. The first round is news. Play free for up to 5 days on the latest free login campaign. This is the same 120 hours, blah, blah, blah trying to seduce you back into the game. But it's from Friday, December 13th to January 14th. It does count when you're downloading the game, so be ready for that.
My Senna's going to try this. I think she's been gone long enough to qualify. So get her free time here and get Starlight in. It's a shame it doesn't stretch all the way to. Maybe she can get it to stretch to Heaven's Turn. We'll see. But she's going to probably resub after that anyway, because we got some story that needs to be done.
Got to get caught up. I got to get my Ulf through the story. He logs in, does his Cackpot and Chocobo racing, and then logs back out, and I'm like, you haven't even finished Shadowbringers. Get on that.
Hey, at least he's logging in. That's an important step.
All right. Okay. Oh, it's the 30 days. You have to be active for at least 30 days. I think that was a question in one of our free company chats. So how long? All right. The Wolves Den PvP live stream with the community team, that is going to be on, you already missed it because it's tomorrow in real life as of this recording. But they're going to do EU community teams, going to do a Wolves Den. They're going to do some of the new one, Ansal Hacker. I don't know how to say that. Go check it out on December 19th at 10 PST on the Twitch channel. And they got some prizes. They've got a t-shirt, and I'm assuming a sticker or a cling that says The Feast.
The Feast.
The Feast. Join us for Duty Commenced episode 36 on December 19th. That is our ladies doing stuff usually. The North American community team, they're hosting the Bright Light Bash, a Starlight Celebration themed party. And they're going to feature an in-game Blue Mage showcase.
Oh.
Yeah. They're going to do giveaways and whatnot. And that's 8 p.m. Eastern. On the Twitch channel. And they're going to give away Magitech torches. Starlight Dash. They're going to have a race. All right. Oh, the giveaways are mouse pads and mouse. Nice. There's a fat chocobo one. Oh, did you see Denmo got a letter from naming a video Fat Chocobo as it was hate speech or something?
Oh, I did see that. That's one of those things I was like, what the hell? I ought to write this down. Then I forgot to write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, how crazy is that shit? I think he's got an appeal in process, but, how the fuck are you... Okay, so that's a bigger issue because YouTube has got some serious issues with the striking of channels. If you're, as a listener or anybody out there, if you've been following anything with YouTube since, I guess, really that first adpocalypse. Remember when, what did PewDiePie dress as a Nazi or something? I don't even remember what the hell happened, but there was the original adpocalypse where they were the advertising companies, the big corporations were pulling their advertisements off of YouTube because something that PewDiePie or somebody did, and then the walls came tumbling down. They got stricter on stuff. It seemed like YouTube was catering to advertisers instead of content creators, yada, yada, yada. Now it's 2019, and it's, obviously, there are issues, many more than just that with YouTube. But this is, I think, part of that automated system that, what's her name, Susan? I know, Susan W. I can't pronounce her last name. These automated systems that are trying to clean
save
up
us from
YouTube.
Ourselves.
Right, exactly. And so Fat Chocobo, the totally ableist speech? I don't know, man. This is just crazy. It's so stupid.
It's a Fat Chocobo. It's not a real character.
Why don't they give humans some jobs and let a human double check when they flag something so they can go, oh, Fat Chocobo is an actual character in Final Fantasy. But whatever. What do I know?
It just was like, wow. Really? Just wow. All right. They got two mouse pad mouse combos. One's Fat Chocobo. One's a carbuncle.
Cute.
This Fat Chocobo wind chime's adorable.
It really is.
It's just like a Fat Chocobo head with a little, paper flapper that's a Fat Chocobo. The carbuncle furnishing figure set's cute. I don't know what I'd do with it, but it's adorable.
It's like I want a dollhouse to put this in.
I have a dollhouse. I do. I'm a grown woman who has a dollhouse. But I never finished building it. But yeah, I could win that. But the otter lamp. Seriously. Seriously.
Do not post this picture, though, on the official forums. Apparently, otter pictures get you.
I still don't understand what happened with that.
I read more into that, and
like
it seemed like somebody was using otter pictures to troll other people on the official forums, and then the GMs got wind of it and started hammering otter pictures. So don't do it.
All right. New merchandise is available for pre-order because, of course, it is.
Actually, these are kind of cool.
Actually, no. These are physical. These are physical items. This is what are they, like acrylic stands? So you've got Aardvark, Y'shtola, Emmett Silk, Crystal Exarch, and Urianger. Good on them because people have been selling unlicensed ones for since we were finished Shadowbringers. Mm-hmm. Oh, Thancred and Ryan, Alphino and Alizé. They're cute. They're nice little. Yeah. It's
almost a gotta catch 'em all sort of situation here because these would look great on a shelf. You have the whole group. It's Shadowbringers. Mm-hmm. It's really beautiful.
They're quite nice looking. They really are. Let's see, how much are they? 18, 20, 20, 20, and then sets of 2, 23.
They know
23.
Where the thirst is this time. You see these prices? Nobody's thirsty for Aardvark. In fact, Y'shtola thirst is at an all-time low. But look, Emmett Silk, Crystal Exarch, Urianger with the thirst. Let's jack the prices up.
And I guess
you're getting a
thirst.
You're getting a 2 for 1 on the others down there. Thancred thirst, and you get Reen with it, and then I don't know, probably more Alizé than Alphino thirst, but double your pleasure, double your fun.
Oh, people would get the twins just to try to line them up or to flick Alphino on the floor. A lot of people hate Alphino.
They do.
There's a lot of Alphino hate out there.
Fucking Crystal Braves.
Oh my god! Shit. I just saw that we once owned that domain.
Yeah, well, that would have been a bad turn. You see these pins? You look at these pins?
Yeah, we got Gunbreaker and Dancer pins and a Blue Mage pin. Some carpet, all the crafting ones and the
supplies are limited on that Blue Mage pin. Because it's a limited
job. Dad jokes. Ruby, you're a dad now. So
I am. I can tell them.
Dad jokes.
Hey, I like these Disciple of Land in Hand ones too. I mean, that's something. I feel cool. Kind of Pokemon-ish on these as well. Although how you gonna represent?
How you gonna represent what?
I mean, what you? I guess you put these on your backpack at school. I don't know how I would do it. I couldn't put it on the lapel
or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
I guess so.
But I mean, how cool though would Gunbreaker cufflinks be if you were
that would
wear
be
cufflinks? Cool. Yeah, no, not that I were. Yeah, I'm not sure where you would display these, but they're kind of neat. All right. The Feast Season 14 is coming soon. And, it's all the same old stuff. Preseason tier transfers over into starting tier, diamond to gold, platinum to silver, gold to bronze, silver or lower to none. So that's patch 5.18, which we have a date on now. But we'll get to that later. So go. Kill each other, I guess, in the Feast.
Go. Murder each other.
Go murder. All right, new optional items are available. This is the cash shop. This is what I was thinking of. Yeah, last year's Starlight Celebration stuff, I think, is what all this is.
Finally.
And I was wearing this robe as my glamour, and somebody in the free company is like, I must have it. And I'm like, it's going to be there. I'm like, and she's like,
wait for it.
She's like, I don't see it. And I'm like, it's going to be there.
Wait for it.
And then she asked
the small
again,
indie company has to make some money.
And then I'm like, calm your tits. It's coming. And it's here. So, yeah, I forgot I had the little open packages. So it's the choir attire. It's only $5.
Not bad.
For the hat, robe, and shoes. That's actually That's not too disgusting. I guess that they usually, this is already existing. They just have to, just letting you buy it. And the authentic silver Starlight Sentinel. It's the big old indoor tree. The authentic Evercold Starlight Snowman. It's a cute little snowman. We got 5 baskets of authentic Starlight Donuts, which look delicious. Opened twinkled boxes. And Starlight Starbright Orchestrion Roll. It's $3. So very cool. Yeah.
Very neat.
They pretty much do that every year now, so we should be used to it.
Yeah, I guess they're just waiting for the shit to launch before they could open it up. So
that's what I figured. Yeah.
I think it's it's some kind of anniversary for the those tin or silver trees. Something like they launched in the 60s or 70s or something, and like I saw an article about it. So buy a silver tree for your home in celebration. And then the music, Starlight Starbright Orchestrion Roll, good song. Of course, there's the good version and then the wonky version if you're not doing the conducting correctly. But the song this year, which was a little different, was some variant of the Chocobo theme. I guess spoiler alert, because there's chocobos involved. So, yeah, that's interesting. So I guess we'll be getting, I think, a new song next year for sale, along with Gubu Wreaths and whatever the hell else we got.
I think we know from the other site it's chocobo barding. All right, announcing the Star Companion Screenshot Sweepstakes. So, Starlight Celebration has arrived. Blah blah blah. So they'd like to show our gratitude to the faithful chocobo companions. Blah blah blah. Let's see. What are we supposed to take a picture of? You and your chocobo? Let me go to the official rules. Blah 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 blah.
No nudes.
Blah, blah. No nudes. No titties. Blah blah. That one's in French. So they have a sample entry tweet. My chocobo is so festive this Starlight season. Oh, and their link doesn't even work. Their example link doesn't work. You bastards.
I'm clicking. Oh, the page you were searching for has either been removed. Report.
Oh, guess what you can win? Scarf of Wondrous Wit. Say it with me, everyone. Scarf of Wondrous Wit. Araman Choker, Mandragora Choker, Bluebird Earring, Noble Barding, and Gallic Cap. Look,
I urge you listeners, whenever the next, hey, my name is Yoshi P, please send me a question about the. Can you send him one of 2 questions? First, send him a question, why don't you update the prizes for the contest winners for something other than the stuff you're selling whenever the itinerant Moogles show up? Mm-hmm. And then the other would be, can you update the platinum packs for triple triad cards?
Like he's going to say platinum packs.
It's not Shiva and Ultima and fucking La Habrea, please? Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so...
Rum's hitting now. Rum's hitting
now.
Can't wait till we talk about dungeons. Continue.
So they're challenging participants to snap a screenshot with their chocobo while you both enjoy the Starlight Celebration and share it with the world. So that there would be blah, 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 la, 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 la. Let's see. Letter from the producer live. 56 summary. I have...
Opinions?
Snooped around.
Oh.
No, I was snooped around on Nova Crystallis' website, and we're going to go through their summary, I think, because I certainly didn't take good notes. So
I took a few notes. I got to find them. What the fuck did I do with the notes? Because there was a few things like right at the get-go that I wrote down. Let me move this rum bottle out of the way, and let me see if I've got what I fucking wrote down. Yes, here we go. Let me start with my piece here, Yelta, before we continue.
Start with the Rubicon Veils.
My notes, my detailed notes, if I can read them. I wrote down anecdote about hoodie. Something about the hoodie. Oh, Yoshida was wearing a hoodie, and he had told this story about how everybody wants his hoodie, and so now this. I guess a fashion company is selling his hoodie or something, or I don't know. It's some
I know the fashion company is selling Final Fantasy XIV stuff.
Yeah. But people want, or like he was wearing some other brand's hoodie, And everybody was like, "Oh, that's the new Yoshi P style of hoodie or something," and it was just like a shirt. I don't know. What did I write here? 30 million subs. That's what they want. They're at 18 million now, and it was defined as having had subbed once, I think is what I got out of that.
Yeah, it's number of accounts that have ever subbed, I think, is what we...
But
so
how many of
not
those
now.
are bots? How many of those are bots?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And how many of them
this...
have a party finder up right now selling something or shouting in Gridania or teleporting around?
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to skim through here to see if he talked about, like, if they share the part about the fucking butt sliders. Because he went on
okay, so he spent a long time...
He spent a long-ass time talking about butt sliders.
Why the asses got nerfed.
I don't think it's here in these notes, so I'm gonna segue...
I have them. Yeah,
you
go somewhere. You start. I'll find mine.
Well, yeah, find it, because I don't see it at a glance here. But he took forever talking about the fucking butt sliders. And I don't know what camp you're in, listener, about butt sliders. I could give 10 flying fucks about a butt slider. I understand human nature. If you give somebody something, you can't take it away. And they've given us some glorious asses in most recent patches. And then they fucked up and removed the ass for some gear, the combinations. And Yoshida went through this long explanation about the checks.
I found it. So Yoshida's like, and with the 2B gear, the bottom, it's clear now that the bottom is smaller now. People online are saying that the bottom is nerfed. And they didn't nerf it because they wanted to. And he went into this long explanation that basically Final Fantasy XIV gear has precise and complicated settings. And they couldn't provide bottom sliders, so they wanted to provide gear that at least answers that problem. But it's something about the shape, and if you pull a certain part, the bottom will extend and extract if you push it. And there's some flag they release the gear without setting it, so when you sit down, it's supposed to extract and stay under the other gear. But there's a bug report that the butt was basically sticking out of coats. Mm-hmm. So to fix that, they made changes to the, quote, bone and released it. But because there's so many combinations of gear, and this just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's wrong with it? And he comes down to basically they're still looking for an additional... What we got fixed now is only an intermediate fix. He could have just said, yes, we nerfed the butts. There were technical issues. We're still working on a final solution. We're not happy with it yet.
That's how serious butt fucking sliders are to people in this game. That it has caused such havoc for this team that they have to go into like a 15-minute explanation because thirsty-ass gamers thought they nerfed those sweet, succulent cheeks. And it was just a mistake. I don't think that they really didn't mean to do it, but now they have to go through every piece of gear to flag or unflag something. And didn't they say they were just going to revert back to the way it was until they've gone through all these checks? You know, so I guess you're getting your sweet cheeks back, but my God, slow the thirst down. It wasn't like a campaign against butts. I mean, it was just, it wasn't even
something
happened.
It wasn't like an obscene ass or anything. It just clipped horribly.
What if they had flagged it and then it was like super bubble booty? And like they were like, oh no! And then like everybody just had these big juicy, bodacious asses. And then like you could not take that. And that's what I'm saying. If Yoshida accidentally gave us giant asses, you could not take that away. You'd have to make like a new race for asses or something, like the giant ass race or something. I don't know what they would do. But you can't take the asses away. And
we have to have another calamity so we can have better bugs.
Calamity, a media got to hit that ass and shrink it back. And that's what happened to the Asians. The ass was split into 14 shards. And the goal is the Warrior of Light has to get all 14 shards of ass together. And write that down, Yoshida. I got you, babe.
All that ass.
All that ass. All right, that's the name of this one. No, we got to make it where people can actually download it.
It's got to be like PG-13.
We'll put dollar signs. All that ass. Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, the first thing other than asses they covered was patch 5.18. This took some of us by surprise. They said outright that they're doing this a little earlier. They don't usually do some of this stuff so early in a patch cycle, but patch 5.18 arrives on Tuesday, December 24th. So now everybody's losing their fucking minds because it's Christmas Eve.
Okay.
The patch is on Christmas Eve, so people are losing their fucking minds. But there's a small possibility of delay pending review changes.
Well, and people don't need to lose their fucking minds because they weren't originally even going to do a 5.18.
Oh,
they said this was just kind of like, you know what, we're gonna throw you guys something here to make it more fun.
Yeah. So what they're doing is the weekly restrictions for Eden's Gate and Eden Gate Savage are going to be lifted. So you can go in there and farm all you want. You're going to be able to buy Deep Shadow Solvent. That's so you can upgrade your weapons.
My God.
Yeah, this is early. So using manufactured coins from the copied city. They're starting Season 14 of the Feast. I think that's the normal timing for that. That's all that normally would be in here. And some job adjustments will be implemented, including some for Ninja, specifically PvP actions, I believe.
That was my last note that I wrote down, but I saw it here, so I wanted to wait. It's just that ninjas are ruining it for everybody in PvP. They're apparently so OP. Yeah, that they're just ruining it for everybody. He also talked about the PvP being run rampant by statics again. And I don't understand this because they did this nerf to where, you could only go 4 people.
Right. The premates could only be 4. And I've only done it once since they did that, and it was not as much fun. So. And
he said he might have to force raid PvP to random grand companies when you go in. So statics can't be together. Like when you log in, regardless if you log in 4 people, this is my understanding, that it just assigns you randomly to a grand company, or maybe you wouldn't be able to go as a team at all. It's very odd to me that where is this happening at? I'm not experiencing it. I don't PvP enough, but listener, can you tell us, is it really that bad when you go into PvP that you're just steamrolled over by this one grand company all the time and you believe it's because
it
of
happens.
statics?
I mean, it happens, but I can't prove it's statics. It's probably that they're more working together. The word is not working in my head.
Well,
but,
better coordination, I can believe.
Yeah, there might be better coordination, but I don't know. I think part of the problem is you have a mixture of people joining this, even queuing up.
Sure.
It's a little frustrating when you get onto a team. I bring my 4 now. I used to be able to bring 8. And we tried to coordinate amongst our 8, and then, if someone kind of takes charge in the entire alliance, we'd try to do what they said to do. But, I don't know. I have no idea if the real problem is coordinated entire alliances, because that definitely would be, I guess. Well, and then I've also heard that there's a big botting problem in there too. I don't know, but I don't know.
Well, my problem is with Yoshida's solutions more than the original
weird.
Problems.
Yeah.
It seems par for the course with how Yoshida has treated communication in PvP. We silence those that are trying to communicate with each other, and it's a constant division. Right? Like
it's just throwing the baby out with the bathwater every time. You
sever communication between own team members. Before you couldn't talk shit, and then you severed communication between team members where it's just emojis. I'm talking about the feast, but so it's just emojis and shit. You can't really talk. And then now we have to separate people. We can't have 8 people. We can only have 4. To drastic changes where, everybody's just going to be in a random grand company. We don't want people to coordinate at all. Is that what you define as fun PvP? So much chaos that coordination is not even possible? Is that what you consider
I'd rather
fun
have some
PvP?
sort of ranking or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, just make it better coordination. Just make it where the coordination is actually part of it. If people fail because of a lack of coordination, well, then that's their own fault. That's not to say that people are that. I guess if somebody's using Discord or TeamSpeak or whatever else to communicate with each other, yes, that's faster communication, which would lead to, a faster kill and faster wins. But people have the option. I mean, somebody that joined into a PvP could say, my Discord's open, let's go. Let's jump in.
Yep.
Why not? Why not? I don't know.
I don't know enough. I don't do enough PvP. I'm in no PvP groups, so...
I get it if you say, oh, Ninja's too strong. We got to nerf this ability.
Well, that's something measurable, right?
X job is not strong enough. We need to boost their potency or their healing rate or their defensive capabilities. I get that completely. Or this game design is poor. We need to make it where these crystals break easier or this node is stronger. I get that. But to sever communication between people just to make it... oh, this will make it more interesting. Don't let people play together. Just make it free-for-all. Well, then just make it where nobody can queue with anybody. And then that's how you should have done it to begin with.
Yeah.
Just make it where PvP is a solo thing. But if PvP is solo, then it goes back to what see, this is where I would like PvP. Make every job capable in PvP. Make some fucking strong-ass white mages throwing stones and shit, glares and banishes or whatever the fuck you want to give them. Make every healer as strong as every tank as every DPS in there, and it's a free-for-all.
If it's a free-for-all, then why do we even have jobs in there? Yeah, I gotcha. Can't just agree.
Anyway,
see, and the way I want to do PvP is on Monday nights. I want to grab whoever from the free company, the Link Shell, the Crossroad Link Shell, wants to just go in and try to kill some people. We just wanted to go and do our best and whatever, and then get back out. It's no fun, when you just get completely spanked by another team. I guess good is the answer to that. But also, it's no fun to go in there, and I can only now take 3 other people with me on my team, and God only knows what the other people on my alliance are doing. Half of them are AFK at the camp anyway.
Well, Yelta, it may be the rum talking, but it's again par for the course for a design that is, let's go by the lowest common denominator. Let's dumb it down. Let's make it as easy as possible. Let's make it that Joe Blow, who has never picked up his controller or knows anything what he's doing, who accidentally stumbled into a PvP match, will have just as much fun as someone like Joe Never Fails, who at one time was a major PvP contributor for the Final Fantasy community and had to step away because they kept making changes and they still don't know what they want to do with how they do PvP. People still say it's not complex enough for what we're doing. It's a constant dumbing down of things, and we've got more of that to come in patch 5.2.
Yeah, so patch 5.2 content and features. There wasn't a title screen. They don't have the image ready yet, but it's titled Echoes of a Fallen Star, and it's going to be mid-February 2020. You're going to have new quests that continue after the main scenario, and after the of patch 5.1, we're getting a level 80 instance dungeon named Animinus Anyar. I don't know how to say anything. I looked up. So people have looked up that word. It is the remembering of things from a supposed previous existence. And the screenshot, the screenshot. It's a certain city under the sea, but that building actually has like corals and stuff growing off of it, right?
Oh,
yeah. So maybe it's existent. So if we're going to be remembering stuff from a past life, it will be compatible with the trust system, in case you don't want to go with humans. Going forward, the team will add 1 dungeon with every major patch. So we've gone from 2 dungeons every major patch to 2 dungeons, 1 major patch, and 1 dungeon the other major patch, to 1 dungeon every major patch. Now, I get it. On one hand, I get it. There's like 73 dungeons in the game already, and really they're just kind of like... we don't have to, we don't really need to have like a revamped hard version, which isn't really even hard, of a different dungeon or whatever. But, I know that in theory, this should mean that they are spending time and energy doing other stuff, but it feels like getting less.
Yep, that old sneaking feeling is coming over again, that we're getting a little less. LBR talked about this long ago, about things slowly dwindling down, and Nero was a little prophetic about some of these things, and others have chimed in that they have seen the writing on the wall. Now, the flip side of this coin would be that we had an excellent dungeon that was locked behind some maybe not excellent content in the Baldizian Arsenal and the Relic Grind in Eureka. So they have talked about that they are going to do another public dungeon. My prayer for this game is that these people who are not working on a second dungeon are spending time on a public dungeon that will not be locked behind a Relic Grind that everybody can enjoy, that it have a similar difficulty to what was experienced in Baldizian Arsenal, and it'd be a fun, more open world type event. Even if it is instance, it feels kind of open world. So that's the hope, but will we get that or not? And Yelta and I were talking earlier before the podcast about the timing of stuff like that. Like, if they really were not going to do this, I would have liked to have seen the open world dungeon done by 5.2 and then additions made in 5.4. So if they're going to do like only one dungeon per patch, then we know now that our odd numbered patches are going to have the 24-man raid, and the odd numbered patches are going to have possibly like more gatherer content or what have you. So we're starting to see how the odd number patches are working. Now I would like to see the even number patches be kind of evened up, so to speak, and been given something more with a public dungeon and then an update in maybe like 5.4. But if we are getting a public dungeon, they're missing the mark here. It would be 5.3 or later. And then, of course, 5.3 is an odd-numbered patch, so you've got a lot of the other shit that would be coming in an odd-numbered patch. But I don't know.
I don't
know.
That's
my hope. That's my hope.
But it's a small indie company, please understand.
Please understand.
Well, and then there are some people who are concerned, because remember, way back, we complained very bitterly that, like, the expert roulette, how a lot of people get their weekly tomes, we don't want that to turn into a coin flip again, right? People already sometimes leave when they get the one where your gear is...
that one will drop. I am
just drop out.
I am 1,000% sure that once this one new dungeon shows up on the roulette, that that Amaro will surely drop off. That is the one that holds everybody back, and nobody likes to do because of the eye level on that.
Honestly, I don't even fucking notice. To be honest,
well,
I'm spending 50 to 20
are
minutes in a dungeon 3 times a week anyway.
Dungeons are a fickle beast. I said we weren't going to get into this tonight, Yelta, but I was reading the official forum and I read a post that said, "Paladins have clemency, use it." And that was about a dungeon run that a healer, a scholar, was not able to keep his tank up. This tank was doing pulls. He put sacred soil down when he picked up the first ad. He ran through his sacred soil and he didn't have enough ad lokes. Anyway, lustrates, I mean. And anyway, then the rest of the posts on there were get good. And, if a paladin uses clemency in a dungeon, you're the one that's at fault. But the one that was the opposite side of the spectrum was, a healer said, if I see a paladin use clemency,
I'm not healing you
I
anymore.
refuse to heal any longer, and they can heal themselves for the rest of the dungeon. So This is what this great community, by the way, says. You can have in one hand, you must 100% use clemency if you're a paladin in a dungeon. And even if you are on the brink of death and I'm DPSing as a healer and I'm not healing you, if I see you one fucking time use clemency, you're not getting a heal for the rest of this dungeon. So enjoy that, tanks.
I don't know. As long as the tank is holding all the mobs, not doing strange pulls, like that like stutter step, that like pull, grab a group.
I don't like the stutter step.
And then like stand there for a minute, just long enough for ninjas to put down
Run through it.
And then they decide they're going to go get the next set. But as long as they're holding all the ads, cycling their defensive cooldowns as needed, I could care less. I go as a healer. If they, I was going to hit you with a benediction, and I still will, but oh well. As long as they're holding hate, I don't fucking care.
The scholars were out in full force against this person. Saying, like, you clearly don't know how to scholar properly. And I know scholar may have some issues over the others with some of those things because you know lustrates and have you, but you got enough with excogitation and aspected shit and whatever guys got in your kit. You got enough. Anyway.
All right. So, then they announced the new beast tribes will be added, featuring the Qitari, and there will be a focus on gathering. Likely, it looks like there was a picture. The Qitari are Quigaran, however you say that.
Quigaran, that's how I call them. Here's another one. This live letter was full of hijinks.
I was like scratching my head. I'm like, they're like, it's gathering only, and I'm like, gathering only. And then somewhere in here, I have the notes that said something about Let's see. There was something about the Namazu allowed you to play as gatherer or crafter, but it was overcomplicated. What?
Oh my god.
I was I complained because those were so basic, but apparently they were overcomplicated, so now they have to do a gathering only beast tribe.
Unbelievable. Yay for Kakira, and I love them. I'm glad they finally
see them as a tribe. Yeah.
I'm finally glad that they got some prominence as a tribe. What the fuck? How could Namazu be considered complicated? By any stretch. It's so fucking easy to do Namazu. It's brain dead content, which I was actually glad for. There's some things in this game I go, brain dead content, this sucks. But I was super happy for Namazu to be brain dead because it was the last Beastman tribe, and as the last Beastman tribe and the gathering crafting catch up Beastman tribe that we've expected because of Moogle and because of Ixal, that we were like, yay! And this one's not as bogged down as Moogles, not complicated because I also don't think Moogles were complicated. I think they were cumbersome because you had to hunt and slap and whatever the fuck else you had to do to Moogles. Where Namazu is pretty straightforward. It's like, hey, make your little cart shake in front of this spot, or ride this horse up here, or yell, whatever, praise Namazu or whatever it is at the shrine. It's easy. It's not complicated. How they get complicated out of this is beyond me.
Because the Namazu were brain dead. The Moogles were really very easy. And you go back, though, think about the Ixal.
That's the hardest one.
The Ixali ones, you actually had to craft stuff.
I'm
you had to
still
pay
not done
to
with
buffs.
Ixal.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, because I stopped at like 7. It goes up to 9, and I stopped at like 7.
Yeah. No, I mean, because that was, you actually had to pay attention. And that's what kind of kills me. Even the Pixie Beast tribes make me nuts because you don't even need to use a quarter of your attention to do them.
Yeah.
And I mean, really.
Lowest common denominator.
And 2 out of 3, I basically just have to fly over and emote at something and then fly back. I mean, most of them I don't even have to draw my weapon. And I'm like, I love the lore. I think the quests are cute. But, and I don't mind occasionally going in and interacting with 3 tufts of, better grass or whatever, but it's just so, I don't know, I don't know. They're so brain dead. They're so brain dead, Ruby, and I don't know. I'm not saying they had to be hard, but I don't even have to watch my screen.
That's sad. That's really sad. I don't know. Well, apparently things are too hard. Things are still too hard, so we've got to make it. And then you had the other point, which I'm in the same boat with you. It's so wonderful that our Beast Tribe quest here is gathering, because all our gatherers, our 3 gatherers, are all 80. And how does this help us at fucking all? This is, to have just a gathering one does nothing for us. Yes, there may be a select group of
There's probably
players.
some people that haven't like finished their fishers. Of course, watch this not count for fishers. This is only botany.
Oh my God, that would be what a slap in the face. That would be to fishers. At least fishers got something out of this that we'll cover here shortly. Yeah. But my God, that would be so terrible. I really don't understand the point of this. Of course, I'll do it, but it's like I'm not going to get anything out of it because there's no reason for my gatherers to do it. Yeah, I guess I kind of see we do have crafting content already, but aren't we supposed to be getting gathering
content for that's we're talking about.
Stop
that a bit
giving
too.
us so many ways to get the experience. We got it, Yoshida. We can easily level up. I understand. I get it. You've done a great job of making new players able to catch up to the old players. It is really time to bust out the advanced content, and I really mean that. You got to start busting out advanced content. I don't even mean like
super difficult, but something that's harder than expert dungeon or harder than the Pixie Beast Tribe quests. Harder than
we all know expert dungeons can't be that hard because the trust system is involved. All right, so it's not that difficult to do, and we've just gotten recently a lot of content that is so great for catching up. I guess what I'm disappointed in is that 5.2 has catch-up content. 5.1, 5.3, 5.5 is great times for catch-up content. I don't want to see that in my even-numbered patches.
It's now in every patch. All right, we're getting a new side story named The Sorrow of Werlit. And it's my understanding from some live translation that that's the equivalent of the Four Lords quest.
I heard that, yeah.
Yep. And they had a couple of screenshots. But the new trial is against Ruby Weapon that will be added, including an extreme difficulty mode. Yeah. Does this make you excited?
Mm-hmm. To think that we're getting all the weapons as four different trials of content. Yeah.
I barely played 7.
Ruby and Emerald will eat your ass. So get ready for that shit. So that's great. And then you also got there's Diamond Weapon. You know there's Ultimate Weapon. There's Omega Weapon. So we'll see what kind of weapons we get out of this.
Cool. And then they said there's another trial that also will be added, but this one's secret. Now, did we get a secret trial before?
No, I think this was the little palatable part right after hearing that there was only one dungeon because we're getting an additional trial. I actually wasn't so sure if this was an additional trial or if this was an additional difficulty mode, but my understanding now is that it is an additional trial. But what it's going to be tiered for or what it's going to be like, maybe it's another one of them kind of Rathalos deals. I'm not saying that it has anything to do with Dragon,
but it could be a unique trial just kind of dreamed up or something. That's cool.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know anything about it. Maybe we'll get some. Warriors of Darkness kind of shit. Who knows? Nah, that's too lofty. That's too good. That can't be what it is.
We are getting the second tier of the Eden raid called Eden's Verse, which will also include a savage difficulty mode. The concept artwork shows a square platform with lightning striking distant towers in driving rain.
Oh, who could that be?
People were like, that's Ramu, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Yoshi P said, if it's Ramu, what do the players recall? How would you answer, what is Ramu? And FoxClan said, the chat said, picking up balls. So Yoshi said, see, this is why you get weird primals.
So clearly we're going to pick up Ramu's balls in the next. What if Ramu just has giant balls? What if it's just him with his skirt open and two fucking giant testicles are hanging out?
He's going to have to make way in his giant garlic beard to show that.
Ooh.
Right.
What if it is? It's probably it's going to be a mix of Susano.
What if he's hot?
What if he is hot? What if he is super hot and his balls are hanging out?
Because the Ramu we fought is really the that Sylph's tribes summon of him. We don't really know what Rama looks like. Well, let's say we don't know what the real Garuda looks like. We don't know what the
real Shiva had looked like.
Yeah, the real Shiva is kind of based on what she thought she looked like. Right. Yeah. So I think that'd be pretty cool if he was hot.
Yeah, I do hope this has some, and it will. It'll have a mix of some other fight or something. Maybe it'll have a mix of Susanoo. Maybe it'll have something else in there. Maybe a mix of Bismarck. I don't know. So there could be some cool shit with this. But yeah, what if he was just super fucking hot? God, like this community needs more thirst, Yelta.
Okay.
If people thirsty for Ramu, that would be so fucking weird. Like garlic
No, what would be really
beard.
funny is if when they designed him now, they had caught on that apparently we're all horny.
Yeah.
Right, so they just made him completely fucking hot.
The active time event is just fucking him. You're just hitting it because you're just penetrating Ramu. Or he's penetrating you, whatever you're into. I don't know. But it's your active time event, not mine.
This podcast is not your personal erotica site.
Right.
I can't breathe.
Move past this shit.
All right. A new quest series to upgrade equipment will begin. The title is secret for now. It will involve a story focused around the Bozja Citadel, home of the Hrothgar. So hopefully we'll get some Hrothgar lore. That would be nice.
Nice.
I think of the Gunbreaker, or not the Gunbreaker. Yeah, Gunbreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only did the first quest to unlock it. So
I did 2 or 3 of them. Yeah.
But anyway, so is this the upgradable equipment? Is that the relic then?
Could be. I mean, we did have upgradable armor in the last
and
deal.
Weapons, yeah. So that'll be cool. Eureka and the relic were on one continent before.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's going to talk about it some more in Live Letter Part 2, I guess.
So what? This is clues to what the lore behind this is going to be?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Huh.
Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, he's just look at... My cat has a lot to say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So PvE and PvP actions will be adjusted, and we know for sure one of them is probably ninja right? That we
yes.
know.
Ninja nerfs.
Ninja nerfs. Of course, we're getting a new Allegan Tombstone. Additional New Game Plus chapters are going to be added. Rank increase for free companies.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, right?
What are we going to get?
I don't know.
You think we'll get tier 3?
Buffs? I don't know.
Huh.
That'd be cool. We like our buffs. We keep 2 buffs running all the time.
We always keep 2 buffs. Mm-hmm. It's not always everybody's favorite 2 buffs, but you know.
Well, and we've had people speak up or ask, and we're like, "You're an officer. Change those buffs.
Go for it.
Do it. Just don't change the buff, craft for 5 minutes, and decide you're bored and log off." But let's see. I don't know what it's going to mean. What it's going to get us? Are we going to get? What will the benefit be? The obvious one, I guess, would be additional buffs, right?
Right. That's the only one I can think of. I mean, what are you going to give us? Another chest? Maybe Senna will resub just because she has an additional chest space. Come on, Yoshida. Get my wife to resub.
A new Leap of Faith, of course, for the Gold Saucer will be added. I do Leap of Faith. I still don't have the achievement or whatever for getting 1 gold Cactar statue. I have a hard enough time even just finishing the fucking thing. But okay, people who like to jump can go to the Gold Saucer and do that. You'll be able to view fellowships in the companion app.
The best shit I saw about this was somebody's tweet that said, "What are fellowships?"
Oh.
Dead content.
Mm-hmm. I keep forgetting even to check ours. Or I haven't scheduled an event lately.
But you didn't put a poll up?
We've had a couple polls, yeah.
I was trying to be sarcastic, but whatever. Fuck fellowships.
Fuck fellowships. They're underwhelming at this point. And umbrellas will be added.
Okay.
I don't know, so umbrellas will be added. All right.
They talked about that before. People have wanted umbrellas.
People have asked for umbrellas. All right, Ishgardian Restoration and Diadem. We're going to get an update to Ishgardian Restoration. High-end content will be added with patch 5.2 and later updates. The Diadem will be redesigned to be Gather-exclusive content. That sounded good so far. After reaching level 10 with any Disciple of the Land, players can enter the Firmament, and Cerulean tanks will no longer be required.
Okay.
All right. Gather items to use in the Restoration of Ishgard. You're going to earn Skybuilder scripts with you so far. You'll gather while moving from island to island without fear of being attacked by enemies. Okay. In addition to gathering non-collectible items for reconstruction, the area is also useful for gaining experience at any level. As you continue gathering in the Diadem, you will charge up a gauge that allows the use of an Aetheriumatic Auger.
Ethereomatic Auger.
Auger. You can use that auger on creatures in the wild to obtain additional items.
Oh, so there are enemies.
There are enemies, but you're just going to... You're going to auger them for their stuff, but they won't attack you.
Yeah.
It seems so janky, Ruby.
Oh, it seems so tame is the problem. I saw a map when they put this up. That was a circle. It was the same old Diadem map. That disappointed me. It was the same Diadem map. And it was a circle, a big, they love their arrows. It was the arrow.
There were arrows. Because first thing I'm going to go in there and see if I can do it backwards just to fuck with the man.
They did a clockwise turn through the map. So it gave me the feeling like you're going to just be on this clockwise just treadmill of collecting items. But really the kicker, Yelta, for me as a gatherer, that somebody defended Diadem 2 only for the gathering content. And
I did too. I'm like,
only for the reason, I know you did, only for the reason that gathering was interesting because it was deadly. You had danger. It felt, that was the 11 feeling, right?
Finding that right spot to fish from where nothing would aggro you was sweet. I don't know why. It was dumb.
I got to creep around this tree to hopefully get this node done before this guy turns around and comes back and eats me. That was the fun in the Diadem for gathering.
Oh, and sneaking around trying to get those treasure chests, too.
Fuck this shit. I want danger in my Diadem.
Something. Yeah. And yeah, if you die, it really just slows you down or whatever, but it's like, I don't know, without any danger, without any risk, the rewards just...
What's the goddamn point? Because the fucking gathering shit is so easy anyway. It, again, is brain dead, lowest common denominator stuff. You just go. You don't even have to have great gear to gather. You just hit the node and you get your shit and you go. That's the point. And if you want to make leveling brain dead content for doing this and turning in the items, that's fine. But there are other ways to level this. If I want to go into the 2.0, 3.0 areas and get sky builders, yada yada, and get the shit from there, and it's a little more tame, great. But if there's better experience in doing this method, I want a dinosaur to eat my ass if I'm in the wrong spot. And you have failed to present that to me, Yoshida. I am not happy.
I just was kind of weird. I don't know. I was one of those people who was a little bit cranky that underwater swimming was just flying with
yes, and I get not everything is going to be savage content, but there's got to be some balance somewhere, some kind of what is advanced Disciple of Land content? Let's be real. There's no Hamlets. We never got our Hamlets. So what is Advanced Disciple of Land? Honestly, I was hoping Diadem would be Advanced Disciple of Land. And by advanced, just meaning I dodge some shit. It ain't that hard. I dodge some shit, and that's it. And I get my stuff. So, and then let's add some insult to injury. There are enemies, but I'm going to charge up a meter. So every time, I chop a tree or fish a fish or I hit a mining node, a little meter's going to go up, and then for these random golems or whatever, or maybe they're sprites, I hit them with my super laser beam. I'm firing my laser, And then I get more materials. What kind of dumb shit is that? Why not just make a limit break for gatherers? Ooh, wow. Great content, Yoshida.
It's hard. They are having trouble making it interesting.
My God, that's wow. A limit break for gatherers? What are you thinking?
To use on mobs that don't aggro.
That don't aggro. That won't. Would they not even hit you back? They sit down if you hit them with your laser. What the fuck?
Well, yeah. So you'll turn them into ingredients. And then Yoshi P did mention that back in 1.0, gatherers could throw stones, and now you can shoot rocket launchers.
Gatherers could do more, and gatherers could beat the 1.0 storyline. What kind of bullshit is this?
Yeah. Could weave our way, crafters too.
I want Parlay back. Fuck this shit.
You can play the Parlay game in your toy box, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I remember writing, I think, a lengthy blog post about Parlay and how it was stupid that you could weave your way to success. Anyway, this next one does sound interesting. New collectible items will be added. Expert recipes can be used to earn greater rewards. Expert recipes will trigger statuses other than poor, good, and excellent. Utilizing these new statuses will be the key to increasing item quality. So it sounds like you might not just be able to use a macro and get 100%.
Look out.
You may have to actually respond to stimuli like other living creatures.
You have to look at the screen? Wow.
I may have to look at the screen. So that and is it random? Because random things are fun. I think, unless they, sometimes they become.
Hey, throw some of that. If you ain't facing north toward the the green moon, I mean, throw some 11 shit in there. Who knows?
Oh, you could throw some shit in like from other games, or you can only craft this item from the mouth of the volcano.
Well, yeah. I mean, there are weather elements, so maybe it'll make you want to craft somewhere where there's heat or wind or something to make the elements stronger. Maybe it
would not be accessible. People would cry.
Would it not be accessible? Go outside. Go outside the city. I don't know.
But this looks like it might be interesting, at least if you have to actually push buttons in response to something. This next one was weird. Kupo of Fortune are scratch-off tickets. After contributing a certain number of items, you can redeem them for rewards. So okay. Kupo of Fortune receives scratch-off tickets, blah, blah, blah. And they have got a screenshot of that. All right. Okay. A ranking system will be added to commend those who contributed greatly to the reconstruction effort. Separate rankings for each crafting and gathering class will be added. Earn points for each class when contributing specified items. Class rankings will be tabulated during a 10-day period after the update is released. Results for each world will be announced on the lodestone. Okay.
Bots. It's the only thing I got to say about that shit. Bots.
Yeah. Or like a bunch of people teaming. Well, if the stuff's tradable, a bunch of people teaming together and turning stuff in. They wouldn't make that stuff tradable.
But by 5.3 Yelta, they'll just sever communication. They'll make it where you can't chat with each other in those areas, and that'll completely disrupt that. Chaos for all.
Oh, all right. The crafting/gathering revamp. Crafting actions will be adjusted, as well as a new feature to estimate the effects of your next action. It'll also be easier to desynthesize stacked items. The party requirement for company crafting will be removed. An in-game UI can be used as a simulation for planning your next steps. Okay, there's a lot to unpack in that sentence.
There really is.
All right. First of all, I get it. I would be mad if they took the party requirement away for company crafting if you didn't just have to AFK to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. Right? I still think you're a grand company, you're crafting stuff, you should be able to summon up 3 other people to help you push it along.
Yeah.
But since there's not like any interactive anything going on there, I've logged in my second account, left her in there. I mean, so I guess I wish it was more interesting to require the party requirement, but since it's not, I guess I'm okay with it. I'm disappointed.
I'm disappointed too, because it seems like it was the start of something good. It was kind of that 2.0 thing that's like, oh, there was promise for this type of content, but it just seems like time and time again that submarines, airships, anything that happens in that little room just doesn't get much further than what, like, the mini game at Gold Saucer did. It just doesn't do anything. It's just another content that they built. They half-assed it, and then it kind of trailed off in the distance. It just really never was updated and done anything good. What are our airships doing these days? Nothing, because it's not an air expansion. There's no, it was water after that.
Well, and I think you can only send 4 things out, right? So we're sending all our subs out to unlock and look for stuff.
Shouldn't there be a reason for you to go, oh, should I send my airship out today or should I send my submarine out today? But there's not.
They'd have to refresh the content and alter the loot tables and, it's that platinum pack all over again.
It's just a lot of things in this game that are platinum packs.
All right, so there's some new feature to estimate the effects of your next action. I'm not sure what that means. I know that an in-game UI can be used as a simulation for planning your next step. I know a lot of people are like, okay, we don't need those websites that are crafting simulators anymore, maybe. I guess.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows an example here with the picture with how much you're going to get from using this ability. And,
okay.
I mean, it does take some of that guessing game out, but the guessing game was part of that fear. And the fear
and it keeps it in the game,
is.
too, right?
Yeah.
If it's giving me information that I should be able to figure out, that's probably okay.
I guess so.
I don't know. All right, fishing updates will lower the required level for the following fisher actions: patience, precision hook set, and powerful hook set. Fish tugging animations will be easier to distinguish, and an all-purpose lure will be added.
Nothing wrong with that. They already have all-purpose bait, so all-purpose lures.
Yeah. I don't know. There's not really so far a new end game for fishing. So, of course, I still haven't done one of the old ones. One of the catch these 4 fish ones. I've never got around to doing it. I should do that. I want the achievement, Fish tugging animations, that would be kind of nice. Can distinguish, but honestly, I never let it fail. I always fish everything up, so
yeah.
I don't know. Sky Steel tools will be primary tools that can be upgraded over the course of multiple patches. It'll begin with a quest in the firmament, and you'll craft or gather specified items to enhance these tools. That's kind of cool. I know they've tried different ways of having us turn stuff in, like for books and other stuff, like a Realm Reborn stuff. Or was it Heavensward? I can't remember. We had a lot of kind of harder to craft or gather stuff that you would have to turn in to unlock stuff. So, and that kind of went away. It felt like it went away for Stormblood. So maybe this is some, earn your tools again, other than just buying it off the market board or grinding white script.
Yeah, Realm Reborn was good with that. I always talk about those early days when you had to make spicy tomato relish just to get your books and your gear. You got glasses you had to turn in to get those pieces of gear, and that was like a deal. That was I
had to go gather high quality tomatoes so that I could make the tomato paste or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh yeah, I remember reading the guides and it was like, you got to start with culinarian because you can get that done a little bit easier just to get that little bit of gear that you can start on your other crafts and get those up. And those Lucius weapons, that was a big fucking deal at the time.
I felt accomplished when I got them. Yeah.
And then everything just seems to just dumb down as it goes. It's like it just gets a little bit easier, and I get it. I get it for some content. I started this episode saying I want some dumb blue content, and I think things like limited jobs should be dumb. It's side content. It's a mini game. It should be dumb in a certain way. I don't want my triple triad so fucking hard that it makes me not want to play it. Blue should be just dumb content. But some of the stuff should not be just dumb content. It should not be just
completely trivialized, oversimplified. Yeah. Equipment will no longer be lost when creating materia. Crafter class requirements for affixing materia will be removed. Any crafter can affix materia provided they meet the level requirement.
Well, break this shit down because this is packed in too.
Okay, so equipment not getting lost in creating materia, that's somebody was you used to have to earn more equipment then, buy it, make it, whatever. And that seems crap.
So, again, this is the dumbing down of materia because it shows how insignificant the first 4 tiers of materia are for anything. I mean, back in the day, you would put on some gear, you would go to North Shroud. This is what I would do, and I'd go hunt those headless dudes, the Durhams or whatever they're called, and just kill those and the bats over and over to get materia, spirit bond that, craft another set of gear, and there's a cycle. Yes, those are the old days. We don't really do it that way anymore, but it's because of the dumbing down of materia. Now, what are you going to do? Have a set of gear to just make materia? This is my materia making set of gear.
And Yoshi P says that people aren't even using the feature anymore. So I guess
because
if no
they
one's
nerfed
doing
fucking materia. They nerfed that shit to the ground.
If I could be more assured that I would get useful materia, I would totally level up and break down gear that was expensive. If I knew I was going to get something good, but it's so random. I like random, but damn.
They started a vertical progression that destroys the lower tiers as it goes up. So really, depending on the content you're doing, for the most part, 6, 7, and 8 are the only ones you should care about if you're doing battle content other than blue. And then if you're doing gathering and crafting, yes, there's some room for those lower level ones, but they've really erased for battle content 1 through 4 materia. So
you don't need it.
The only content that I ever saw myself doing materia creating for was for 1 through 4, and that's in the A Realm Reborn to early Heavensward days. It's dead content, and that's why they're nerfing it, because it doesn't mean anything anymore. But what they should be doing is giving meaning to some of the old content instead of erasing it and coming up with something new.
That one doesn't bother me as much as the next bit. Crafter class requirements for affixing material will be removed. He said during the letter, leveling everything is a pain, so you only need one job that meets the conditions to meld materia in the future.
I have no reason to level any of my other crafters.
But it's also so fast and easy now to level crafters. It's like there's no pain anymore. I can use the same macro for all jobs.
Yes.
I mean, then I guess what trivializes even the leveling, but at least I earned it. At least I was logged in.
If you're going to trivialize the leveling process, then what you're saying is the end game means something. When you hit 50, 60, 70, 80, it means something. But when you say, well, you only got to do 1 out of the 8, well, it means less now. So if you have given us catch-up content, then why? If we don't really need the catch-up.
And why would we bother catching up if we don't need it anymore?
Right.
If I don't have to be able to cheaply create all these equipment sets so that I can, turn them into materia. And there's no cross-class skills anymore.
Right.
So there's no reason to specialize. I don't know. It just seems
What's the master plan?
I don't know.
I don't understand the master plan yet. I feel like Poe in The Last Jedi.
I know. I feel like I'm just raging against a purple-haired bitch.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Don't tell me till the last 10 minutes.
And then die. Spoiler alert. Bitch dies. So because that was for me a lot of my reason to even level up crafting, right? Was so that I could. That's
why I was leveling it.
I could do all my own overmelting.
Last episode, or at least the previous one, I said I'm leveling my carpenter to get it so I can meld the materia to this thing, and I got my carpenter to 80. I was going to work on the weaver next so I could start doing the left side of my gear. Well, what's the fucking point now? I can wait till 5.2.
No reason. Ugh. So that's just... Sorry, that was hard enough. I have to pour another drink.
I've been pouring. I moved the bottle over here and this rum is almost gone.
Oh my God.
Listeners, let us know if you want Ruby to drink on more episodes.
Drink or no drink. And I'm taking it light tonight. I'm just drinking wines. I'm not even drinking... I'm drinking diluted wine because I'm feeling lightweight, I guess. I don't know. My cat wants my pop bottle cap. The next one sounds interesting. This one sounded good to me. Ocean fishing will be fisher-exclusive content aboard a ship at specified times. It's specified times, Ruby. To enjoy fishing on the high seas. Receive experience and scripts based on the fish caught. Meeting certain conditions while aboard will grant all passengers a chance of a big haul.
Ooh.
Right?
Let's work together. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be fun or interesting. I don't know if any. I just know that even in 1.0 I used to fish when I went from Olda to Limsa.
1.0 ferries were a thing.
Yeah, and not to speak nothing of 11. Some of my favorite moments fishing was having to change my job or wishing I could change my job. No, you were stayed on your job. Changing what I was doing to then go fight pirates.
That's right. So, you've answered the question I had, because my question to you would be, what are your most memorable experiences from your 11 fishing? And so fighting pirates is one. I think a lot of would say, the sea monk that would appear.
Monk, yep.
You got a big octopus or squid or something that shows up.
Either casting sneak on other people and hiding in the hold, or getting a group that could actually kill him.
Yes. Absolutely.
I've killed him.
So what's common in all of that? There's an enemy.
Danger. Randomness and danger. And a possibility of danger.
And danger, which is what they removed from the diadem. So,
that's why
even though ocean fishing may be fun, it's added content, it sounds great. I think it will be great for fishers, not to shit on this. But without the danger, it just is not the same.
No, you're right. There will be the idea that you can. And then I worry about meeting certain conditions. How often are you going to do this? Is this going to happen every time? Is it random? Is it based on if I'm actually pushing buttons and catching fish? If we all just semi-stand there AFK? I don't know.
Sure.
Right. I don't know enough about it. I don't know.
In a game that you can change jobs, you should have danger.
That's what because in this game, we can change jobs in the open world. So as long as we're not already in battle, we can change jobs. So, so let's say the sea monk spawned and doesn't hit anyone who's a gatherer. You can either keep fishing or talk to your people and be like, let's murder it, or let it murder us. I'd be okay with that too.
And who's to say that they couldn't design content? I just had this thought. Why couldn't they design content that says, due to ethereal conditions, you cannot change jobs in this zone? I don't know why they can't do that for some reason. I mean, I guess, I don't know. You pick up another weapon, but,
Well, you can't in dungeons, and that's always, I miss that from
Asian influence? I don't know what the fuck to say. Lord gods.
I didn't bring my monk stuff with me today. I mean, it's actually in my box. I can look at it in my inventory, but I can't put it on. But I'm interested to see what this is. I hope it's not just going to be dead on arrival content. I don't know what a big haul will be. I hope it's interesting enough to get people to come and do it repeatedly. All right, some miscellaneous notes. Final Fantasy XIV has surpassed 18 million players. The team is planning on reviewing an issue where asses were made flatter. And then I don't really want to read this because we're already at 2 hours, but, an hour and a half. Soken was on. Was there anything from this that you wanted to mention?
The only thing I want to mention is he made a face when he came and looked at Foxclaw dressed as a Sin Eater, and he did this what the fuck is going on here face, and it was hilarious. Soken is amazing.
Then there was the Buy Our Stuff section where they talked about, announcements. Free login campaign where he talked about pre-orders starting December 24th for the Hori Tactical Assault Commander left-handed peripheral. It's estimated to ship April 30th. The Art of Reflection, History's Forsaken art book. That's up for pre-order now. That's going to come out on March 31st.
Yelta, is that the one that people can buy that is not directly from, or on the Square Enix store you can pick a different shipper or something?
I don't know. I just I just picked whatever.
There are changes in the Square Enix store, listener. If you want to take a look, there are a lot of people who are upset with costs and things that go on with the Square Enix store. They've made some additional changes to, I think, who's shipping that to you. So take a look at that.
Yeah, I already pre-ordered and I just clicked whatever, so I don't know. But I'm one of those people, now just watch me not get my book. I'm one of those rare people who have not had an issue, and I didn't really notice what it costs, so I don't know. This next one's fun. The Domin Mahjong tile set will be available to purchase in Japan, and there's a mat sold separately. Man, I want to get that somehow. I don't know how to order that, but my family does occasionally play a little bit of Noob Mahjong, and I think it would be fun to have the Final Fantasy version. And the Final Fantasy XIV's fan festivals will return in 2020 and 2021 in Japan, North America, and Europe. It's happening, yo.
Scary. It's that time coming up. I've had the discussion already with my wife a little bit about going. We've got the baby. It's a close call, so stay tuned if Ruby's going to show up at your next fan fest. There's been also a lot of talk about where they're going to have this. I have seen my Discord and my Twitter and everything just blow up with where are they going to put this? What are they going to decide to do? Places that they would like to see it, places that they would never go. So we will see. But I think Yoshida has said in the past that he really likes Vegas. So it's probably going to be in Vegas.
Well, and Vegas is it's actually accessible to a lot of people. Flights even out of the country are usually cheap to get to Vegas, right?
So who's going to take care of me if I go solo? If I go
you can hang out with us. You have to walk slow because I'm a fat ass. But yeah,
you're gonna have to drink slow because I'm a cheap drunk.
we can like summon up a posse. I'm sure
We'll meet in the middle somewhere. I just need Ulf to let me ride on his back if I get terribly drunk.
Be hilarious.
Nah, he can just drag me around. He
just drag you around,
pull me. I don't know. Cinna has already been like, look, if you got to go solo, I'll let you go solo, whatever else. Which makes me want to party hard. If I went solo, I'm afraid I might get in trouble. Like Vegas trouble. Not like
you will have babysitters. Don't worry.
Will I?
You take the old married couple with you.
Listen, I like the babysitters that get me in trouble. I like the ones that are
wrong babysitters.
You should
wrong
do that.
Babysitters.
You should do that.
Need volunteers to keep Ruby out of trouble.
We'll see. We'll see if I end up in Vegas. But if I end up in Vegas, I'm not even going to be able to talk about it because, last year I ended up at the dispensary. I didn't pull the trigger, but, I ended up there. I'm afraid.
Stood there.
Listen, I'm afraid next time there just might.
We're just going to be all high as fuck.
This damn orgy I keep talking about is just going to fucking happen.
No, there will be no orgy.
It's just going to happen.
Well, I'm not
me and the Moogles. That's all I'm
Moogle
inviting.
Orgy.
Just the Moogles.
We'll see what else is going on at the hotel. Maybe we could have a orgy with another fan base. I know. It'll be the yokai event.
Oh, my God. There's already a flying sperm. Why not? Okay.
So anyway, there was in the live letter some discussion at the after party of the live or of the 14-hour broadcast, and they were talking about they should bring back the Yokai Watch event to celebrate the movie that's coming out, and they have to Yoshi P would have to choose which Yoshi P or which yokai to add and what weapon designs for the other jobs. So. Yeah, 4 jobs because there've been 4 jobs since the event last ran. Oh, it's been 3 years and 5 months since the last collaboration with that. So they'd be making weapons for 4 new jobs.
Interesting.
That's such a bizarre. I mean, it was great. I have everything from it.
I didn't get the glowy one. I think Cinna grinded or something for it, but I never got the glowy one. I might actually try to go back and get the glowy one this time.
That was something Ulf and I could do together. That was not stressful in any way, shape, or form. So we just grinding fates. Fates are not my favorite thing, but was kind of chill. So we might be getting it again. And then Ruby and I, before the episode started, we were talking about, well, are they going to bring back the other... we've had other crossover events like
Dragon Quest, Shantoto.
So there was 11 ones, and there was So Lightning Returns has come back before too.
Christ, and I hate Lightning.
I did not care for that anyway, but at the 15, I guess I could see if we're gonna have those events happen again. You might as well just do all of them. Anything else, Ruby, with the news?
No comment on that shit.
No comment
Sperm
on that
mount.
shit. Sperm mount. All right, let's take some shots. Just quick. This is big news everywhere, so we figured we better mention it and maybe weigh in a little bit. But Arthas got suspended. He's a pretty big streamer, right?
Yeah, I mean he does a lot of in-game content, I think, but he does big shit and he streams, and he's a divisive type person. Some people love him, some people hate him. Whatever, we're not here to talk about Arthas. Arthas, love you, but we're not here to talk about you. What we're here to talk about is what happened to him and the implications. And what happened to him was he got banned. Well, he got a suspension. He got a
10-day suspension, right?
Yeah. He got a slap on the wrist.
He's not banned.
Nah.
And just so you know, he came back and has said, I totally deserved it from what I did.
He did. And what he did was he named and shamed somebody, a black mage, that was, had some poor DPS. Now, there's some other reports that this black mage is a known troll that was doing shit on purpose.
Purposely baits people?
Yep. And Arthas kind of fell for it or whatever. But because Arthas used ACT, he was parsing, and he used parsing language, he was banned. And so what we're getting at is there is punishment for a player who was doing something on his Twitch stream that was not actually – he wasn't typing in-game, you idiot, you're DPSing 100 and you should be doing this. No.
It was 7,000.
It was outside of in-game. He was speaking. What has kind of come out is that he did have his Twitch channel linked within his Lodestone profile. So there is a direct connection. And I believe that a modder had been suspended that had a direct connection. And the modder was doing lewd mods. And I believe at some other point somebody had been suspended. Now this might be that part might be a wild accusation.
There was somebody too that had like a loose connection, but it was a data miner too, didn't he?
Yeah, and the data miner one wasn't terribly long ago, if that was the case. So, but this was the most. I don't want to say egregious, but this was the most recent for sure, and this was the most like. Okay, far-reaching for Square Enix to do this. Again, Arthas agreed that his behavior was. I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but he said he deserved the ban. And that's not what we're disputing. What we're disputing is what evidence can Square Enix use, and how far does their reach go? Is it only because Arthas had linked between his Twitch and his Lodestone, so there's a direct link to what he's doing on Twitch to his character? Or is Square Enix now really taking that TOS change seriously and using outside evidence to ban harassment? And we're really seeing this on the level of harassment. Harassment has happened before. We've had reports 2 years back of even a celebrity in the Japanese community that had been harassed, and we think that's why Yoshida really kind of has hammered down on harassment. That Yoshida is the Koike incident. That's the one where on Nico Nico, a streamer was banned, no, I'm sorry, not banned. A streamer was harassed, and those players got banned. Foxclon actually went back and banned some players for harassing this celebrity. Koike is her name. I think the full name is somewhere in this article, but I'm missing it. Oh, Miyu Koike. Miyu Koike. Anyway, So, there's precedent for it to happen, and it's happening to somebody in the North American streaming community. So it's like, whoa, ripple effect. Is this really going on? Is the TOS this far reaching? Listener, feel free to send us some feedback. Do you think that this is an overreach of the terms of service on Square Enix part? Or do you think, hey, toxic behavior, wherever it's seen, if it can be linked directly to a character, you know what? We should have discipline for that sort of behavior. Let us know. I'd like to know.
Yeah, I'm curious how far it goes, because you and I have talked about parsers plenty of times. But
we've never named and shamed.
But we don't do the harassing part. But we've broken the terms of service, and we've said our character names, and they know what server we're on. So could they take and give us a warning or a ban or whatever? Now, I haven't harassed anybody with it,
right?
And that's where maybe the difference is. But if I go off on a rant on someone and I say his name, or if I go off on a rant on someone and don't say his name, or I'm just kind of an asshole even if I don't say a name, do I get we heard you were being a bitch?
Yeah. And this is one of those that the Square Enix developers can quickly say, hey, it's because of shit like this that we don't give you an in-game parser. So, that's why. And what can you say to that? What can you say? It's human nature. We use tools to show the weaknesses of others, and if we're going to live in front of an audience of hundreds or thousands tell somebody that they suck based on their DPS performance, human nature has taken over, and you're showing the darkness.
Start with, is it enough just not to be a dick? That's what I'm hoping. If I'm not an asshole, and then this has spawned, however, entire conversations on Reddit and stuff about, well, Tales from the DF, they don't have any rules about not posting screenshots of, in-game chat. But usually that's just showing this guy was an asshole, here's what he said. But, how far does it go? I don't want to be an asshole, but at the same time, people are reacting now knee-jerk way the other way. So now I can't say anything. And we had this knee-jerk laugh after they changed the terms and services, right, too. So there's this big, long thread about, so am I not allowed to notice someone isn't pushing their buttons in the right order? Or, because you can tell in-game without any outside third-party software if someone's not
right
doing their rotation.
Yeah, recently I read one where a black mage, was witnessed doing Fire 1, Fire 2, Fire 3, Fire 4. Fire 1, Fire 2, Fire 3, Fire 4. Well, those are the numbers in order, Yelta. Yeah. You should push those 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, Cure 3 is the best cure.
But 4 never went off because Enochian's not up.
Yeah. So, and I keep thinking about one time when I was a noob black mage and I was just doing a dungeon run. This might have been a Realm Reborn, or maybe it was Heavensward after the rotation changed. But somebody in a dungeon kindly said, hey, I noticed. Did you know just so you know, you can look here and see the rotation, but basically it's blah, 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 blah. I was thankful for it. If no one tells you that you're doing shitty, how do you know you're doing shitty?
Reported. You don't pay my sub.
I was thankful. They weren't an asshole, but they didn't they also didn't tiptoe around and ask for my consent. They just hey, I noticed this. And I could have ignored them, but I was thankful for the actual help. This would go a lot faster if you AoE'd. I don't think that's an asshole thing to say. If the tank pulls all the way to the wall and the Dragoon is attacking one mob at a time, or the tank is only tanking one mob at a time. That I saw in Tales of the DF the other day. The tank complained that he wasn't holding aggro because he refused to use any AoEs after initially grabbing the pack. Well, you have to be able to say something, and that shouldn't give you a ban as long as you're not a dick about it.
Yeah, and where that tank fucked up is you shouldn't even use defensive cooldowns. You should only be doing attacking abilities when you're in a dungeon. Don't ever use a defensive cooldown.
Never use defensive cooldown.
It's not a DPS increase. You should only be DPSing. Never hit a defensive cooldown when you're a tank.
I saw one the
DPS
other
loss.
day where the tank had read an old guide and thought that having tank stints on nerfed his damage.
Yoshida, you created this mess. Fix it.
Kinda. Well, and but you're right. That really brings me to another whole thing that has been talked about widely today was the game doesn't tell you this stuff.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't test you.
God, we've talked about Hall of the Intermediate forever. Like, you should have something that says, okay, we have Doritos, we have stack markers, we have this, and now they're consistent. So learn what these are.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if there was a practice. I watched, last week I was in some 24-man that you get the Doritos. It was an older one. You were fighting some guy. Of course you were fighting some guy. But, like, the Doritos things came out, and, like, I'm running to the group of two, and then all of a sudden they just ran for the walls. And I'm like, no, that's the hugging Dorito. It means love. You have to touch me. It's just... but nothing teaches you, and nothing in there, it'd be nice if I could go through and do like a refresher. These are the shit. Ulf gets confused sometimes. There's still a couple things that are like confusing.
It almost is like, just add that shit to the ARR content. Go back and revise some of that shit if you're going to do that.
Well,
make all the dooms the same. If you're going to do it where healing cures doom, then make all the fucking dooms the same. But then you lose the charm of Karn. And
Karn, I think, well, that's, I don't know. Maybe they shouldn't call it doom. But yeah.
Yeah. What to do, Yelta? I don't know.
Call
us Yoshida. We got ideas.
The one that kills me is that dragon that drops the little bubbly things. And the blue marker means get the fuck away, and the red marker means stack. It's very confusing. They should go and fix those indicators, I think. If you're going to have a stack marker, it should always look the same.
Right.
So, my 2 cents. But yeah, you're right, in a way. Okay, this whole bit was, asshats being asshats, but at the same time, again, it dredges up those questions. Some of it, they trained us this way.
That's right.
Or they didn't train us, and then, you try to help people, and I don't even go on the Novice Network anymore because people are such fucking assholes.
I am so glad I lost my mentor status. I feel liberated, in a sense, that I don't have that sorry crown hanging over my head. I'm not as good as a mentor. Thank God. Thank the 12. I am not a mentor.
Well, and here's my idea of a mentor. It should be, where do I unlock my chocobo, right? It should not be... It just makes me crazy that people think that the mentor...
Yeah, when you hear the requirements of, you should have finished every Savage content to be able to do... who do you think a mentor is? A mentor shouldn't be telling you how to do Savage. A mentor should be telling you where the grand companies are located.
Equipment? Yeah. Or why can't I beat this boss? Or anybody want to help me with...
What's wrong with my rotation? Something like that, Yeah,
it's kind of nuts. I've had very poor... I did retain my mentor crown, and I still do my mentor roulette, and most of the time it's in fact, usually it's very adorable. You get a... My favorite thing is, I join the mentor roulette, I click... accept, something's 18 minutes in progress. I go in, whatever, I don't care. And as I zone in, usually someone types, please don't leave.
That's so sad.
It's 3 fucking sprouts who the healer came in, realized they were sprouts, and noped out of there. And I'm like, you have a 30-minute cooldown. You can at least give it 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just, or you can at least give it 20 minutes. I don't know. It's just... I've almost never had that stuff fail. I have gotten twice in the last month Ramu and I think Extreme. Do you get the Extreme with that one? It was hard. So explaining Ramu mechanics, even when you don't remember them perfectly. I even went and looked up a guide. I had a group that was learning. The tanks figured out how to pick up the things and when to swap. And we were getting to ads fairly often. We had a real problem with people not coming where I told them to go if they got shock strike or whatever. Luckily now, you can actually rescue them out after they get seduced in. You can rescue them out before they take the damage. But, I have had some of those fail. Usually the harder primals, but most of the time it's just adorable. You go in there and there's 3 sprouts or 2 sprouts and a returner almost every time. Oh. And they're just usually pretty adorable.
There's still a good side to this game. Yeah. This whole episode, I feel a little bad because I've been kind of down on some of the shit that was said. But there are good people that play this game, and there's good, innocent people who are just signing on for the first time, just wanting to have a good experience. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with playing and helping those players, so do good. The Starlight celebration, let's have a Starlight spirit. Let's do good to each other and try to help each other in the season.
And don't be so sensitive. If someone says, hey, you've got a level 10 weapon and this is level 50 content, don't be like, go new healer on them. Be like, oh, shoot, I should have fixed that. I've had people dip out once it was noted that the tank has less hit points than me as a white mage. Mm-hmm. Maybe don't have such soft skin when most of us don't want to hurt your feelings, or we're willing to give it a try, but don't scream at me when I mention that your equipment's 30 levels out of date.
Just don't tell them their DPS is bad and post the number.
Yeah. All right. I think we're done. I hope lessons were learned by the temp ban, but let's move on to closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, www.gtffxav.com. While there, leave us a comment. If you'd like to, you can support us by clicking the donation button. And you can find us on Twitter at GTFFXAV. Email us at gtffxav@gmail.com. Please rate us wherever you download us. Personal plugs, Ruby.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at RUBICONVALE.
And you can find me on Twitter at Yeltasumasu, YELTASUMASU. As always, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.